There's your winter. Welcome to another extremely warm winter morning here in Istanbul. Is that today I'm just in short sleeve and a jacket. That's all. Usually during winter, I have to wear a long sleeve inside with a hoodie, okay, with a t-shirt inside, and then there's like 4 layers. But today, short sleeve t-shirt and jacket. That's it. Why? 17 degrees Celsius this morning. No, crazy. Usually Istanbul at this time should be about 0 to -1, -2 degrees Celsius, or actually around 0 degrees Celsius. But this year is kind of strange. This year, very warm winter here in Istanbul and even in New York. Very warm winter. But very cold winter in Asia side, very cold winter in Korea this year, but very warm winter here in Istanbul this year. And welcome to another of my coffee chat. And in case you guys are wondering what this live stream is about, it's every morning. I just woke up here in Istanbul. I bring you guys to a different location or cafe, grab a coffee, and then we chit chat about anything and everything. So if you like this form of a chit chat rather than just a turn it on, listen to kind of a live stream, do join me every morning, 10:30 a.m. Turkey time. Oh. So just waiting for more. So like I said, this is a chit chat show, which means that I pretty much need people to chat with me in order to keep this going. Yeah, so I'm just gonna wait a bit for people to come and then start talking about some stuff. So unlike other live streamers, I don't start a daily live stream knowing with a topic to talk about. Now I don't prepare a topic at all. I just grab a coffee. Honestly, to me, the coffee is the point. Okay, and then I just grab a coffee and then just like friends meeting for coffee. Whatever comes out, we talk about whatever comes out, And of course, today I am back in my favorite place to stream from, Kitab Kuala, the book cafe that I come to very often. In fact, this is more of a proper cafe than a book. More of a proper bookshop than a book cafe. It's just a proper bookshop with some tables and chairs on the side and selling coffee. It's a very huge bookshop, one story up and one basement story down. So it's about 3 stories deep, selling every kind of stuff, and even manga, anime manga like Death Note in Turkish language. Before I leave Turkey, and yes, I will. 100%. One day I'll leave Turkey. Okay, even though I really do enjoy my life here. I'm gonna grab one of these manga in Turkish language, especially Ajin. I have Ajin in Korean language, Ajin in Japanese language. Now I'm gonna collect Ajin in Turkish language. So I have the comic Ajin. You guys know the manga Ajin. I'm gonna have the manga Ajin in every language in the world. Excuse me. Okay. Very slow start. Nobody's talking. People liking but not talking, not interacting. Now since I gotta have to do onto my live stream, so right now I'm just gonna keep it. Take a look at today. See, people in Bermudas, and still always cloudy and rainy weather, which is my favorite. This is my favorite kind of weather for going to the Royal Pavilion Park yesterday, and my favorite kind of weather to go to the Bosphorus. But I usually don't like to go to the Bosphorus. I like the Bosphorus. I don't like to go that much. Why? Because it's a 45 minutes walk from my place, so it's 1.5 hours time investment to and fro. Not only that, it's very hard to stream from. All the noise, the wind, it's very hard to stream from. Not to mention, I can't actually grab a car. So this is my all-time favorite place to stream from away from home. Of course, my all-time favorite place to stream from is home, yeah? Oh, 시원해. 시원해. Playing the tail end of Santa Claus. This is the tail end of the winter holidays. Literally, the tail end. People still dress in Christmas colors. Adam Smith. Oh, Adam Smith. Haven't seen you in probably a week. Good afternoon, Kim Teo from Singapore. Good afternoon. Welcome. Let's wait a little bit for more people to come before I give a bit more of an introduction what's going on today. Because I realize every time I have to repeat the same introduction over. Every time someone new comes on, every time someone on, I hear a whole introduction again. Be clever this time. I'll wait for more people before I do it. Kim Teo, short sleeve. Again, I don't want to talk about the introduction until more people come, okay? So, kind of like, right now, we're not started yet. The amazing dog walkers of Istanbul. They walk like 10 million big dogs. And welcome. Welcome to a very warm, strangely warm day here in Istanbul. Usually, by today, in winter, it's winter here in Istanbul. Usually, right now, like last year, this time is about. Good night, then. Last year, this time is about -1, -2 degrees, 0 to -1 degrees. That means around 0 degrees. But today, you see, I'm in short sleeve and only one jacket with nothing else. Because why? Today again is strangely warm. Today is 17 degrees Celsius. This is the warmest winter I've ever experienced here in Istanbul. Of course, I've only experienced 2 winters here in Istanbul. Yeah, not much. The amazing dog walkers of Istanbul. I've never seen any country in the world, right, where dog walkers walk so many big dogs at once. Okay, so very strangely warm winter this year. Very warm winter in Istanbul. Very warm winter in New York. But strangely very cold winter in Asia. Okay, in Korea and Japan. So kind of like it's going very extreme between East and Western Hemisphere. I don't know why, but yesterday was like what? 14 degrees Celsius, right? Today is 17, 18. It's crazy. Usually inside the jacket I need to wear like a hoodie, right? Today just a short sleeve shirt. Otherwise I feel very hot. Yeah. And I'm back, of course, at my favorite place to stream from away from home. Kitab Kuala bookshop. Actually, I can't call this a book cafe anymore. Ah man, the bad hair day just woke up. I can't call this like a book cafe. I always call this place a book cafe. It's really not a book cafe. It's really a full-scale bookshop with just a few tables and chairs on the side selling coffee. And you guys know, right? If you've been following me, this is my absolute favorite place to stream from, away from home. Of course, my ultimate absolute cannot be defeated. Most ultimate favorite place to stream from is home, yeah. There's something here in this bookshop that I really want to buy before when I leave Turkey. This is what I'm gonna buy for Momento. Let me show you guys.
And yes, guys, I will leave Turkey one day. Perhaps very soon. Perhaps not so soon. Who knows? But that day ultimately is gonna come, you know? I want to show you guys what I really want to, like, oh, where is that? Is it here? Let's show you guys. I really want to buy something. This thing, oh, they changed the position, so I'm gonna have to look for it all over again. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh well, somewhere. They have it somewhere here. I'm not gonna look for it today. Okay, in case you guys are wondering what that thing I'm looking for, is you guys know the manga anime Arjin. They have Arjin, Death Note, and all this manga in Turkish language here. And Arjin, I have Arjin in Korean language. I have Arjin in Japanese language. So I want to collect Arjin in Turkish language as well. So then Arjin becomes a very interesting manga series for me, comic series. Because then every boring though. This is what I look for in a memento when I go to a country. This kind of thing. Okay. Which Han? Hi, I changed my name. Who are you? Username. Oh, username. Haven't seen you for a long while. Haven't seen you in 2 weeks. No, 3 weeks. Welcome back. Superman or Batman? No, I don't like Marvel things. I don't like Marvel stuffs. I like anime stuffs. I am very Asian. A lot of people, here in Turkey, right? A lot of my Turkish friends, they say this thing about me. They say, Jason, you're extremely Asian. To us, like we know Asian people, but they're not as Asian as you are. That's what everybody say about me. At home, I wear traditional clothing, Japanese or whatever, or Asian. To me, Chinese, Korean, Japanese is just one Asian culture to me. To me, so I wear traditional clothing at home. I listen to traditional instrumentals from time to time, but it's not a hobby. And I enjoy uh, Japanese manga and anime. And I practice traditional Asian martial arts. Kim Teo, how many boxes and suitcase do you need when you move home? One. I only have one suitcase of anything. Elijah, Kim, I only have 6 pieces of clothes, 1 pair of shoes, 1 pair of jeans that I wear every day so I cannot wash, 3 t-shirts, 7 underwear, 1 laptop. That's my whole 家当. That's my whole 1 suitcase. That's my home. I leave out my suitcase. And in fact, I may be moving home very soon again. I may be moving home as early as next week. Well, something happened to the lease agreement in my place. The government kind of changed the rule a little bit. So right now, certain types of property cannot be leased out or rented out like a regular apartment. And service residence is included, because service residents are hotels, not resident apartments. So I think they changed the rule a little bit so that right now they cannot rent out service apartments to foreigners long term anymore. Like kind of like I enjoy the final year of this loophole, So I may have to move as early as next week. So yeah, to me, move, yeah, no problem. 1 suitcase, I'm gone. When I came from Singapore to Istanbul, that's what I did. At the moment decision, say, fuck it, I'm going to Istanbul. I packed everything, 1 suitcase, and I'm here. No fuss, no hassle. You see how all these things that you own, right, end up becomes your burden, ends up becoming the baggage you carry with you all the time. When you learn to let go of this baggage, you'll be like me. You can move any country, move any home easily. One suitcase, boom, you're gone. In fact, to be very honest, if I want to be brutally minimalist, I don't even need a suitcase. To be honest, if I want to be very brutal, I just have to stuff my 7 pieces of underwear into my laptop bag, 2 t-shirts into my laptop bag. I'm wearing whatever clothes I'm wearing. That's it. I need. That's all I need because I'm wearing that one single pair of shoes that I have anyway. I'm wearing that one single pair of jeans I have anyway. I just need one or two t-shirts to change out of. I'm done. So actually, I don't even need the suitcase. I only need my laptop bag. 100% to me, I need my laptop. Then you may be asking, oh, what about the joystick you just bought and all this stuff? All the stuff I can leave behind. These are not essential for life. I'm not gonna. If really necessary, that they become a hassle, they become the burden that I carry that makes it hard for me to move from place to place. I leave them behind. Yeah. So in fact, when I moved to New York from Korea, I threw away a lot of things. I estimate that when I made my move from Korea to New York, I threw away at least 50% of my belongings, and I threw away almost about 75% of my books because it's very hard to carry and ship books. Yeah. Which 한국 안에도 잘 지냈어요? 오, 누구세요? 그럼? 일라이자 이런 말 안 쓰는데? 차르야? 차르지? Username Detective Conan or Doraemon? Oh my god, no. To me, Detective Conan and Doraemon is not anime. It's old school cartoon. Username, go to new country. I still don't want to make a move to a new country because the whole COVID situation is still quite crazy, and I'm quite sure Turkey will continue to be the only country in the world where you can feel a sense of freedom. I don't want to risk starting over in a new country, and then I don't want to risk getting into a situation that I don't like. Yeah. There's a lot of risk right now in moving countries. Before I would move country in a heartbeat. Before if I run into such a problem, I'm off to a new country. Yeah. At the slightest problem, I'm off to a new country. But right now, because of COVID, I try to stay in the country that to me is the safest, and that's Turkey. Using a toothbrush. Yeah. Toothbrush is come on, toothbrush shouldn't even be considered luggage. Just stuff it in your pocket. We're talking about like real house moving, the kind of stuff that you have to carry, yeah. Which one? 아이들 있습니까? 아이들? 그럼 차드 아닌 것 같은데? 차드 내가 아이 없는 거 아는데? 그럼 차드도 아니고 일라이자도 아닌데? 너 누구야? Which one? The Hunter Witch. I was named GQ 씨. 안녕하세요. 진짜 깜짝 놀랐는데. 아유, 깜짝 놀랐어. Username, go to Ireland now. I'm not going anywhere in that side of Europe because that side of Europe has proven that at the slightest noise of COVID, they do crazy things like shut down everything, and I don't want to be in that kind of situation. I would not be going to Western Europe anytime soon, to be honest. Until this whole COVID thing becomes a norm, okay, you will not go away. You will become a norm. Until it becomes a norm, I will not go anywhere to West Europe because over the past 2 years, I've seen what West Europe do. At the slightest hint of a new COVID variant, now come on, I don't need that bullshit. I don't want to be trapped, Hello retro. 아이 없어요. 이거 다 아는데? 아이 있다면 어떻게 이렇게 살 수 있냐고요? 그쵸? 어? 아이 있다면 이렇게 살 수 있냐고? 못하지? 그치? 근데 자유한 생활 보내려면 첫 번째 가장 중요한 조건은 아이 없다는 거. 그거 진짜야. Username. Will you continue streams from Singapore? Of course not, because I won't be in Singapore. I have no plans to be in Singapore anytime soon. Or in fact, not say anytime soon. I just have no plans ever to be in Singapore. And for those of you who just joined me, welcome to a very warm winter morning here in Istanbul. This is the first time in winter you guys see me wear short sleeve, right? Yeah, 17 degrees Celsius today. Wow, so I only have my jacket with a short sleeve inside. Usually with this jacket, I will be wearing at least a t-shirt, a hoodie, and then this. So 3 layers is at least. But this year, today, 17 degrees Celsius, I only need a short sleeve shirt. This is very abnormal because at this time of the year, in Istanbul, usually right now, should be around 0 degrees Celsius and then going to about -3, -4 degrees Celsius by next week. At least that was what happened last year when I was here. So it's very hard. It's very weird this year. A very warm winter in Istanbul and New York, but very cold winter in Asia. Very cold winter in all across East Asia, from China to Korea to Japan. Oh, DCM, good morning. Which hand do you want your baby? 아니요. 아니 나 아까 그랬잖아. 아이 있다면 자유 없다는 거지. 그래서 그러니까 자유롭게 살고 싶다면 꼭 아이 낳으면 안 돼. 진짜로 아이 낳으면 아이 낳으면 인생 끝이야. 그냥 끝이야. 그리고 아이 왜 필요해? 그거 아이 왜 필요하냐고. 돈 필요해? 아니면은 추임이 없냐고? 아니면은 뭐 위해서 하는 거야? 아이. 그래서 나도 몰라. 아이 난 의미가 도대체 뭔지 자체가 나 몰라. 그래서 그러니까 나 어렸을 때부터 이 생각을 자꾸 나더라고. 무슨 생각하냐면 사람들이 왜 아이 낳는 거 왜 하는 거지? 나 항상 궁금해. 왜 궁금하냐면 나 진짜 그런 어떤 의미 있는지 몰라. 자체가 진짜 몰라. 지난 2, 3, 막 적어도 30년 정도? 30년 정도? 그 지난 30년 정도 내 모든 친구들한테 자꾸 이 질문 하더라고. Why do we have a baby? Why do we need to have children? 그런 거야. 그럼 아직도 지금까지도 진짜 적당한 답을 받지 못했어. 대부분 사람들이 다 그냥 나 계획적인 그러면 이게 원래 내 계획 아닌다고 아니면은 뭐 다른 내 부모님 낳았으니까 나 당연히 나 내 아이도 낳아야 된다고 그런 이상하고 그 다음에 아주 불합리적인 이유가 많이 나왔더라고. 그래서 그러니까 실제 의미와 아마 인생 의미 그 다음에 뭐 자기 인생은 뭐 무슨 소용인지 또 없는 이 활동을 왜 하냐고. 그래서 그러니까 나 아직도 여태 이해가 안 돼. 진짜로 여태 이해가 안 돼. 전혀. Okay. Username. You said home. I thought you meant Singapore. Oh, home is New York. Home is New York. Singapore has not been my home for over 20 years. Home is New York. That's why I keep saying it's very hard for me to when people ask me where you're from, I keep saying it's very hard for me to answer. Because of all this, my life is very complex. I can no longer be defined as, oh, I'm from Singapore. I'm from Singapore, but a long time ago, I don't know what Singapore is like right now. That's my home. I don't even regard Singapore as my home right now. All my stuff are not. I'm nothing in Singapore. It's just as good as a foreign country, which I hold a passport. That's all. So how do I explain where I'm from? It's very hard. I don't like this kind of question because it's so hard. Retro. You're on Bluetooth. Cause the rain is loud. Yeah. Under which you need freedom. Napun mania. Modern 사람의 인간으로서 결국 결극적인 그 목표는 자유야. 몸과 마음의 자유. 그 다음에 생활 방식의 자유. 결국은 모든 사람들이 부자인지 아닌지 가난한 사람인지 아닌지도 또 상관없고 다 자유만 동경하는 거야. 결국은 username English please. Username Paul, learn your Korean please. Why am I speaking in Korean? Because Hunter Wish here was asking all these questions in Korean. So since whatever language you ask me in is the language that I'll reply to you. You ask me in Spanish, I'll reply in Spanish. You ask me in Japanese, I'll reply in Japanese. Okay. You ask me in Mandarin, I'll reply in Mandarin. You ask me in English, I'll reply in English. You ask me in Korean, I'll reply in Korean. Retro. You guys have a kid? No. Oh, okay. Retro. That was. I spent like the last 5 minutes explaining this issue in Korean. But no kids. Don't want. The thing is, there's two levels when it comes to kids. First level is this. When we're kids, then pretty much your freedom is over. Why? Because if you still want freedom, please don't have a kid. Because raising a human being, raising a healthy, happy human being is a full-time job. So forget your freedom. Okay, you cannot be selfish if you want to have a kid. So I prefer freedom than kids. That's one thing. Second thing is, I honestly cannot see the point of having a kid. I do not see the reason why human beings need to have kids. On every level, I don't see the why no hobby, nothing better to do in life, too much freedom, too much money. I don't know what's the purpose of having kids. I don't know. Over the past 30 years, I've asked every single one of my friends who have kids this same question: why do you have kids? Usually two answers come out. Number one, I didn't plan for it, so it was an accident. So most people are accidents because most of them gave me this answer. Oh, I didn't plan for it. Second, because my father mother gave birth to me, so I need to give birth. The most ridiculous answer that I've ever had. I cannot justify the reason for this answer, so I'm not even going to try. So basically what I'm trying to say is this: all past 30-40 years, nobody has been able to tell me a good reason why they have kids. And like even if you want to buy like a car, you need a good reason, right? You need to plan, you need to have a good reason. But when it comes to a huge ass responsibility of creating a new living human being on earth, they have no good reason for it. Wow. Especially today, where the world is basically overpopulated. We do not need more human beings. Come on. See, today's world, people are already smart enough to adopt their dogs, right? A lot of people, especially in America, we know that there's a lot of stray dogs. Already there's a lot, too many dogs that need care. We don't need new baby dogs, yes? So therefore, we don't buy new dogs. We always adopt, yes? Now, this is actually the same situation human beings are as a species as well. We don't need more new human beings. We're congesting this world. We are using up its resources. I don't see the point. I think having children is destructive to your own life and destructive to the planet. Please convince me otherwise. Because if I have this idea, I will never have a kid. So I convince me otherwise. If you do have the right answer, convince me otherwise. Convince me that having children is not destructive to your own life and not destructive to the world. But so far, even here in this live stream, I know some of you have kids, right? And those who have kids always tell me the same story. In some years, I would like to live like you. Right now, I can't. I have this responsibility. So someday, some year down the road, I want to do what you do. See, because you have kids, brutal reality right there. Agio, Limpeh, I'm done with my exams. Wow, Agio, long time no see. Namaskaram, namaskaram. Welcome back. Wow, a lot of people are coming back today. Very nice. Welcome to the final Wednesday of 2021. Samuel, no. Guys, because the messages is not real time. By the time I finish talking, I come to messages maybe a long time later. So please don't say no, I agree, yes, haha, low. Things like that. I cannot relate. I don't know what you're trying to say. So please try to write in complete sentences, yeah? Hunter Witch. Not yet for me. I worry if my children will be happy. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why username. How do you renew a passport if you don't go to Singapore? You can renew a passport any nationality. You can renew a passport in any country in your embassy. Even if you're American, you're European, if you're living overseas, you can always go to the embassy to renew a passport. Very simple. Retro, me about kids too, low. Yeah, you see, retro, this is, everybody please learn from retro. This is the way you should write. Like, if you agree with something, please explain it. Because by the time I come to your message, all these things have passed. I can't relate. So agree about, yeah, exactly. So far no. I hope to have an answer. I sincerely wish for an answer. Okay, so guys, in case you just joined my live stream, the question of the day is this. I think having children is number one, destructive to yourself because you lose all your freedom and then you're more financially burdened. Basically, because of financial burden and your responsibilities, you lose your freedom and stuff. So it's destructive to your life. And second, it's destructive to the world because right now we're overpopulated. We're using up too much resources on Earth. That's why I don't see any reason or any justifiable reason anyone should have kids. It is the same thing as we should adopt dogs rather than buy new dogs because we don't need more new dogs on Earth. It's the same thing. Convince me otherwise. Convince me otherwise. I'm coming 46 and I have no plans for a kid because of this thinking. Convince me otherwise. Help me have a kid one day. You guys may be making a difference in my life like right now today, with your answer. Hunter Witch, I'm so silly, so my genes could be copied to children. Oh. Username, if you don't see a reason for having kids, then how do you want humanity to continue? Exactly, username. Right now, the problem is not the continuity of humanity anymore. Right now, the problem is overpopulation. We can go without kids. The whole world can stop producing kids for one entire generation. If the whole world can stop producing kids for one generation, this world will reset to normal. This is how badly we need to reduce population rather than to continue humanity. I'm telling you, humanity will continue anyways. Humanity started with a small bunch of humanoids. So therefore, by extension, even if humanity is left with like maybe 100,000 people all around the world, that 100,000 human will become 10 million, 10 billion in 100 years. Humanity is like a virus. It will never die out. It will just keep going. So going on the fake idea of, I need to have a lot of children to make sure humanity do not go extinct is just pure nonsense because that is purely exactly opposite to what we need in the world right now. Kim Teo, it's good that Limbu share the same view as you. I'm not sure if she share the same view as me. But at least so far she's never spoke about having kids either. And going by her lifestyle, she's too busy to have kids either. I don't think this is the time for her to be bogged down with a kid either. I know she knows it as well. But I think someday she will want to have kids. But who knows, someday I may want to have kids. Just because I need a hobby. Honestly, the only justifiable reason I can think of why people have kids is just that they have no hobby and they're bored enough to do so. Honestly, that's the only reason I can think of. Retro. At this point in the world cycle, not everyone is having kids because of other reasons for being here. Yeah. The thing is, when you become more awakened and you become more conscious, you simply start to not see the point of having kids anymore. Just like monks, they take the vow of celibacy. Honestly, you don't even need the vow. If you're awakened to a certain level, you simply do not see the point of sex and babies anymore. Yeah. Adam Smith are back. Welcome back, Adam Smith. Rachel Planet. Wow, today so many people on, 18 people on, huh? Wow. Let me give a little introduction before we continue this very, very interesting conversation. For those of you who just join me, welcome. This is a live stream where every morning here in Istanbul, this is Istanbul, I bring you guys to a different place or location, grab a coffee, and then chit chat about anything and everything in life. Okay, so it's a chit chat show, not a talk show. It's a chit chat show. Okay, chit chat means two ways. If nobody talks, then I got nothing to say. Okay, and today is a very warm winter morning here in Istanbul. Yes, Istanbul has winter. Some people don't know that. It has 4 full seasons. Okay, but this year's winter is strangely warm. Yesterday was like 14 degrees Celsius. Today is 17 degrees Celsius. So I'm out with just a short sleeve shirt. People are not dressed up too much today as well. And of course, I do have my jacket. But you see, people are not dressed up. People are dressed up more like autumn fashion today. This is the first time I'm in a short sleeve this winter so far. And welcome. If you enjoy my live stream, do join me every morning, 10:30 Turkey time. All right. Rachel Planet from Singapore. Many want kids to prepare for old age for companionship and support. Okay, I hear some people saying that, but that is a 100, at least 400 years old idea, okay, that is completely invalid today. I'm gonna ask, how many here? Okay, how many here? Okay, how many of you here support your parents financially right now? How many? How many can afford to support your parents financially? When I see most working adults today, they even have problems supporting their car. Okay, how you support your parents? Second thing, because right now the economic system is so efficient, efficient in the way to suck up all your spending power. Today, 养儿防老 is no longer valid. In fact, in today's China, there is a saying that you need to save a lot of money when you're old. Why? So that you can buy house and car and all that stuff for your kids. Because why? Kids these days is not for the purpose of supporting you when you're old already, It's your responsibility till you die. This is the understanding in China these days, For companionship. Now, again here, who is actually still living with your parents? Who above 30 years old is still living with your parents? Hands up. I don't think many. When you really need companionship, your children is never going to be around. Okay, they have their own family, their own life. Okay, so companionship for elderly is never their children. This is not that age anymore where you have one big house and 3 or 4 generations living together, like how I lived when I was young. Okay, and support exactly. So Rachel, none of these reasons are valid. These are very old ideas that are no longer valid in today's world. Solma, are you anti-entalism? I don't even know what that term is. Good afternoon, B. Welcome, B from Singapore. Adam Smith, I don't think we are overpopulated. It's interesting though, yeah. That if you don't think we're overpopulated, there are a lot of then yes. If you don't think we're overpopulated, then you solve one of two problems of having kids, which is the effect on the world problem. Then how about the effect on yourself and your life? Retro. Some people want kids, and we need to bring the next generation, but we don't have to feel we must. See, the thing is, most people want kids because they don't have a hobby. That's what I noticed in most people who keep talking about the necessity of having kids, when I look at their life, they live extremely boring lives with no hobbies. And having kids is just the next best thing to do to keep their motivation in life going, to give them a reason to keep working, to keep living, like the next natural progression in life. That's what they will tell you. To me, it sounds like complete bullshit, because what do you mean by next natural progression in life? Life is a continuous cycle of continuity. There is no stages, there is no gaps in between. Why are people inventing all these stages and gaps in between? Adam Smith. In the US, we have huge regions with no people living there, or in many other countries as well. Retro, cause everyone moved to cities, it's crowded, but there's ton of empty land on this earth. Again, yeah, I do agree. There's a lot of empty land. That's true. Mr. Tokokyomi, welcome. Good afternoon. Oh, today a lot of people. Well, I better be in my best today. Look good. I don't have this many people at this time usually. Whoa. Welcome guys. Welcome. Hello from Istanbul. Merhaba. Günaydın. B. I think there is a stage. Exactly. See, I think B hit the nail on the head. Why people have kids? The real reason why people have kids is hormone. People are just ruled by their hormones to do it. Yeah, honestly. It's part of evolution, let the species live on. But see, we're not animals, we have a choice. But of course, like you say, when you're ruled by your hormones, you're not better than animals. So it's natural to just procreate. Yeah, it's true. Mr. Tokokyomi, I have problems supporting myself. Yeah, exactly. Today, who is capable of supporting their parents? Come on. 养儿防老 doesn't exist anymore. In fact, if you have children, be prepared to fend for them, be prepared to do everything for them to the day you die. That's the thing. That's what I saw in China for 10 years in China. That even very old parents that will sell their belongings, that sell their houses so that they can buy their houses for their kids, so that they can do their kids' weddings. Same thing I see in Korea as well. Witch hunter, what do you mean? Kansai Bende. But what do I mean what? I don't really understand. What do I mean what? What do I mean? Adam Smith, I'm 22 and still live with my parents. Yeah, that's why I specifically mentioned above 30. Because usually young adults in their early 20s tend to leave their parents. That's true. But that's when your parents are still young as well. When you're 20 plus, your parents are 40 plus, 50s. Your parents are my age right now. Okay? If I had a kid early in my 20s, my kid will be 22 years old as well. So Adam Smith, this could have been your father. Okay? So the thing is, what I'm saying is this: at this age, you're not concerned about companionship, all these things. You're not old and lonely yet. Okay, so that's why the old and lonely phase usually comes when their kids are about 30 plus 40, when their kids have their own life, their own families. There's no such thing as companionship for parents in this kind of situation. Anna Capri, I would not want to put that burden on my children. Yeah. Well, living on earth is an experience and a burden and a rest. I wouldn't say burden because there are many ways to live life. And what people call a burden of life is actually just one style of living. But sadly, a lot of us who grew up in cities, yeah, we took for granted that this is the only style of living. Okay, it's easy to fall into that trap because that is the only world you see. But over the past 20 years, having been so many countries, and I have seen many different lifestyles. I have seen many different ways people can live life. I have seen many different ways that life can happen. So there are many ways life can happen. Okay, need not be a burden. The only thing we need to do is to go out there and see and understand that yes, it's indeed so. Most people, I think the problem is you fall into the rut of believing in only one track life, right? But life has no definition. Life can be anything. Lifestyles can be anything you make of it. There are many different lifestyles. Which hunter which? I know life is tough and cruel. Oh, I think I just answered. Life is not necessarily tough and cruel. Yeah, life is actually fun and quite honestly quite enjoyable and passionate. The tough and cruel life is just the one lifestyle, or let me narrow it for you, the city lifestyle. And the city lifestyle is just one of many different lifestyles. If you fall into the city lifestyle, also called the modern urban lifestyle, or the when you are basically when you're heavily involved in the modern economic system. Oh, I study economics, by the way. The economic system is a very efficient engine designed to suck up all your life or spending power. Yeah. Basically, how to suck up your last amount of spending power is everything economists are studying on a daily basis. If they think you have too much, if they think your saving is going up, they will do something to make your saving go back down. You should not have a significant saving. You should not be you should not be able to afford a significant saving. You should always be in credit. You should always be trying to catch up. This is the sweet spot for all modern economic systems. In case you guys don't know, this is the truth. This is the matrix you guys are living in right now. And it is a deliberate system with centuries of academic study and experimentation behind the system. If you plug into this system, do not expect to walk out unscathed. If you plug into this system is not life, by the way. There's many ways life can happen. That's why if you live your life exclusively in this system, life is tough and cruel. 100% it needs to be. If one day as an economist, I hear people say, "Oh, life is easy and good," I worry. Why? My economic model is not working. That means you have access. You either have access money or access time. I need to suck all this up to create the most efficient running economic system. I need to make sure you're at the edge of your money and you're at the edge of your time always. Because time is a resource as well. And so, like this, we're literally, this is academics, by the way. It is reality, the reality of your life that you don't see. The reality of this economic system you so instinctively integrated yourself into, you don't even realize it exists anymore. It's like a matrix. It's like the matrix. And the Capri, I am making sure that I am financially taken care of when I'm younger. Kids deserve their own life. Yeah, exactly. So if at the end of the day, all of us have to defend for our own old age. This is a common understanding. So there is no such thing as having children. Why? Because you need support when you're old. It doesn't happen. I'm sorry. That's the old world, not the new world. Mr. Toko Kiyomi, those that expect you to contribute financially to parents mostly are from the 50s and before generation. Yeah, exactly. This is a very old idea. Today's economic system, because back then the economic system is not so efficient. Today's economic system is so efficient. Please do not expect to have access in terms of money or time. If you have access of money or time as an economist, I will work with whoever the government is to suck that all up, to create, because all excess money or time is GDP lost, basically. So as an economist, if I'm working for the government, I will be monitoring very closely how much excess money and excess time people have, because excess money and time equals GDP. These are GDP that are should be earned and but unearned. I will be devising plans and policies to suck this all up. As an economist, that's what I will do. And I'm saying this only because why? Because I want you to know this is exactly what all governments are doing to you right now. And what people like me, economists, are brought up to do. This is what you live in if you choose. This is your choice, by the way. If you choose to live in the modern economic system, this is what you're subjected to. Okay. But again, like I said, I am I am a harbinger of good news, not bad news. The good news is this is just one way of life. You can choose many other ways of life. Most people are too afraid to choose, too ignorant to see other ways. And for those who can see, they are too afraid to choose. Yeah. Hunter Witch. That's why the proportion of suicide isn't decreasing. It's increasing. It's not decreasing. It's increasing. And in fact, there are studies that are predicting a pandemic of suicide coming up very soon. Not the pandemic of COVID, no, pandemic of suicide. And good morning, Laura from Prague. Okay, in case you guys just joined me, today we're talking about some really serious topic, yeah, very fun, serious topic. Number one, the purpose of the true, the meaning of having kids. Like, why do you have kids? And then we are talking about the modern economic system. We're talking about today being an 18, 17 degrees Celsius winter morning. So we're talking about some really big things here. Very interesting topics going on. So I'm just going to continue. I'm not going to recap for those of you who just joined. I'm sorry. Please try to rewatch this. Uh, Rachel planners. I give allowance as a form of payback. Singaporeans always have family days on weekends. Many visit their parents after marrying. I guess it's a form of, yeah. Rachel also understand that Singapore is actually ridiculously small. So Singapore is one third the size of Jeju Island, ridiculously small, and not honestly not very representative of what's going on in the world. Yeah. So Singapore may have this still have this traditional value, okay, but in all the most places that I've been to, I see these things are not do not exist anymore. I really I know people still have like a what family weekend kind of thing in Singapore. I don't see it. This is a purely Singaporean practice. You know, I've not hear people talk about family Sundays in other countries much. And honestly, you pay back because you are an older generation, like Mr. Tokokyomi just shared. Very few modern young Singaporeans can afford to pay back anymore. Wait, I mean you honestly, Rachel, you are my generation people, I know. Some of you are my generation, I know. My generation still kind of carry on the that kind of tradition, but these days no longer true. Retro. I think people use their kids cause we get pressured. Okay, no, not really. Now, retro. Let me let me explain how having kids came about. You know, actually having kids, not just having kids, having lots of kids came from way back in the agricultural agricultural world. Would be since before, like even today, if you go to some places in China where it's very agriculture heavy, the rural areas, it's still true in those areas. Having kids is still true and still make a lot of sense. Why? In those areas, people farm for a living. Back then, human beings farm for a living mainly. Okay, but the thing about farming is it's hard. Of course, you've seen old farmers like 60, 70 years old, they still farm, but it's hard work. So they need children to do what? To help them to grow up and continue the farming when they are too old to farm. Okay, so the more kids, the merrier. Why? Number one, back then, children mortality is a thing. And then, secondly, some people who might grow up may not last for very long either. So they need to have many kids. Even back in my grandmother's era, they have like what six, I've heard like 6 7 children. You know, as early as my grandparents era, there's as recent as my grandparents era, they have like 6 7 children. I've heard. So it's really, and in the agricultural society, that makes a lot of sense. In fact, in the agricultural society, I would say that it is mandatory to have children and have lots of children, because you need the manpower, you need the continuity. Discontinuity means no food. You know, yeah. So, but are this still true in the modern urban society? That's my question. Of course, if you live in a rural, if you're a farmer, if you're a traditional farmer, I'm not even talking about the new modern farmers of America anymore. No, I mean a real traditional family-based farmer, not a modern mechanized farmer. Okay, if you're a modern mechanized farmer, again, that doesn't apply to it for you anymore. In fact, in many rural areas of China, they have children, and all the children left the village to the cities as well, so it doesn't even apply to them anymore. Mr. Tokokyomi. The housing now in Singapore is high, 300,000 Singapore dollars and above for 3-room flat. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Hunter Witch. Children can't choose the circumstances of the parents, nation, and otherwise. Adam Sniff. You ever had a girlfriend? Adam, I'm married. I'm married. If I'm not married, how? If I never had a girlfriend, how I'm married? Oh. Kim Teo, if without the next generation, who's gonna pay tax? Yeah, yeah. As a government, as an economist, I will always encourage people to have kids and have lots of kids because we don't see them as human. We see them as GDP. It's all GDP. It's all number. The more the merrier. Kim Teo, you have access time and money. Yup, you know why? Because I don't plug into that system. I remove myself from it. As you can see, I don't live the lifestyle that people in the system do. And again, this is exactly what I'm saying. You are suffering the system because you chose to live in that system. I chose to remove myself from the system. That's why I live different. And this is just one more different lifestyle. Many there, I know quite a few people on my live stream regulars who living my lifestyle. It's nothing new. It's nothing uncommon. Okay, many of you, Chi, um, um, who else? Chi, MC, two, about four different people, four other guys I know on my live stream. They live my lifestyle. My lifestyle is nothing uncommon. And there are many different lifestyles in the world. I've seen so many different ways that life can happen. Okay? Very true. 700 people died from overdose in San Francisco. Overdose of what? Uh, Kim Teo. Wait, did you just say Singapore is smaller than Jeju? Kim Teo, you didn't know Singapore is smaller than Jeju? Singapore is only 1/3 the size of Jeju, and not even talking about slightly smaller. It's a hell of a lot smaller. Singapore is only 1/3 the size of Jeju. So many people don't know that, and you know, to most people, Jeju Island is just a small place, right? Hey, even that small place that should not even be called a country is 3 times the size of Singapore, my dear. That's how insignificant Singapore is on the map, you know, less than a dot. The dot used to demarcate Singapore on the world map is bigger than the country itself. Yeah. Mr. Tokokiyomi, unless you do business or alternate income like Limpeh, average Singapore income will be just nice to pass by. Not too good, not too bad. Yeah, which means that, Mr. Tokokiyomi, that the economic system in Singapore is extremely efficient. It's doing its job really well. Whoever the economist is giving advice to the cabinet is doing a really good job, okay, of not giving you guys excess time and money. This is how you know the economist is doing a damn gilat job, you know, where you have no excess and GDP is always at its optimum potential. That means you maximize your GDP potential. This is the way, by making sure nobody has excess time and money. Retro, like the good earth. What's the good earth? Mr. Tokokiyomi. Average income is like 3 to 4K SGD. I also notice other Asian countries facing the same thing. It's the same thing anywhere with the modern economic system. Yeah. This is not about Singapore, it's about the modern economic system that has been developed by very smart people throughout over the past few centuries, you know. You guys ever wondered what we study in economics? Like, we spend years studying economics, right? Have you guys even wondered what the hell we study? Huh? We study this kind of thing. We study how to suck up your life and time. We study how to maximize GDP. Huh? Economics is all about optimization of resources, all about achieving maximum economic potential. And this is what we study. This is our specialty. If the specialty of a doctor is to save lives, our specialty is to suck up life. Very fun, huh? Gotta study economics, it's very fun. But don't do econometrics, it's just pure bullshit. Oh, I hate econometrics. But then, econometrics is the backbone of creating this very sophisticated, very efficient system in the first place. So I cannot say that it's pure bullshit. I'm sorry. Okay, I take back my words. Drugs, overdose of a lot of these kind of things are happening right now because of the lockdowns and all that nonsense. Yeah, I call this nonsense, because look at here in Turkey, no lockdown, no nothing. What's happening? I don't see people dying on the streets. I don't see people avoiding people. I don't see like a zombie pandemic or a zombie apocalypse happening. Mm. So for those of you who just joined my live stream, welcome. Once again, this is a very cold, no, this is a very warm winter morning here in Istanbul, 16 degrees Celsius. I'm in short sleeve and a jacket. The past 3 days in Istanbul has been extremely warm. Usually at this time, like last week, it was 0 to 3 degrees Celsius in the morning. But strangely, over the past 3 days, it's been 14, 15 degrees Celsius. Today, 16 degrees Celsius. So people, people are no longer in winter clothing. Look at that, t-shirts and stuff. Crazy. But some people in padding though. Someone in padding. There's someone in padding. I like the hair color. There was once I really wanted to color my hair silver like that. Limbu say no. Limbu usually allow me to do whatever I like. Okay, she kind of respects and kind of find it fascinating to see me do crazy things. But this, and also the tattoo that I planned. I have a tattoo right here. But actually, this is just the starting of a very grand tattoo. Then Limbu said, no. When it comes to like big things like this, she'll intervene. But other than that, the crazy stuff that I do, usually she finds the crazy stuff that I do fascinating rather than disagreeable. Good morning, May. So today, this morning, wow, it's been a very interesting chit chat. Yeah? For 1 whole hour, we've been talking about and discussing very deeply the necessity of having children, the reason for having children, its impact on the economy. We talked about the economic system. We talked very very deep topics today. And I'm so encouraged to see so many viewers today. I have more viewers within 1 hour than I ever had. So I really appreciate it. Thank you guys all so much for coming, and really, like, I really appreciate it. I think today's live stream is so enjoyable. I really enjoyed today. Hunter Witch. And in fact, I think I spoke Korean language the most in today's live stream as well. So if you understand Korean language, I actually explained the whole reasoning why I don't have kids in Korean language. Okay, for 10 minutes, I think. So if you are curious about how Limpeh sounds like speaking Korean, okay, you can rewatch this. Okay, Hunter Witch. I thought go to school again for the man who was ignorant of it. What do you mean? I thought go to school again for the man who was ignorant of even GDP. I don't understand what do you mean? 무슨 뜻이야? 이해가 안 되는데. 전쟁 you want to hear Hunter Witch always like to hear my Kansai band. I speak Japanese in Kansai band, by the way. I don't speak proper standard Japanese. I speak Kansai dialect Japanese. Wakarang. Hongmani wakarang. 이미何のか全然わからん. Like I say, you guys, I always answer back in whatever the language you ask me in. Okay, so it's actually a very challenging thing for me. I'm trying to do that. Of course, I don't know every single language in the world, so you can screw me up with Mongolian, Russian. Russian, I can only do bliat. Suka bliat. That's all the Russian I know. Of course, okay, I'm sorry. I know a little bit more Russian than that. Hunter Witch. There was a man who didn't know GDP. Who? Who are you referring to? There was a man who don't know GDP. Who? Final Wednesday of 2021. In case you guys have not felt the gravity of today yet, today is the final day of the final Wednesday of 2021. No, there is no more Wednesdays in 2021. Yeah, that's the gravity of it. But guys, soon, in a couple of weeks' time, I may be streaming in completely different places because I may be moving places very soon. In fact, I'm trying to finalize this whole issue within the next couple of days, and if it doesn't work out properly, by next week I'll be moving house. Yeah. You may be asking why. If I move house, I may not ever come here again. If I move to somewhere, actually, is moving house is good for this live stream. Then I can start showing you guys a new neighbor. The thing is, the problem was I ran into a new problem here that I think the government kind of changed the rule a little bit. That it used to be that service like hotels, like service residents. I live in a hotel, by the way. Can go into long-term contracts or residential contracts with with people to rent out the the unit just like a regular apartment. Okay, but it's a hotel. But now I think they changed the rule. The hotels you cannot do long-term rentals like this. Hotels are just hotels. So that means I cannot renew my contract here. I might be having this problem right now. If I cannot renew my contract here, I may have to look for a proper apartment somewhere. So over the next few days I may be planning to move house. Yeah. I know there was a man hunter which a staff did. I really 红妈你真正我讲 May, when is Limbu coming? She's not. Oh, like I explained, she's not coming anymore because we don't want her to risk her traveling between countries in this new Omicron thing happening, or this new COVID thing happening. Not because we are afraid of COVID, but we are afraid of the travel restrictions. She has to go back for her work. She's quite busy and she cannot afford to be held back because some crazy policy change that makes travel difficult or may hamper her travel. To us, it's too much risk for close next to no value. Yeah. So Limbo went to Miami. She spent last week in Miami. Actually, last week she was supposed to be here, the original plan. So she went to Miami. Hunter Witch is 5:33 here. I'm leaving for dinner. See you later. See you later. Thanks for coming in, Jikushi. Adam Smith, you can't go to college here without getting the vaccine. Then get the vaccine. No big deal. You don't even have to pay for the vaccine. Retro, sorry I have to move. But of course, like I said, moving house is no big deal for me. I just one suitcase of everything I have. One suitcase, that's all I have. One suitcase and one laptop bag. That's all I have. Not hard to move. I can move in a heartbeat. I can move today if I have to. Adam Smith, I'm taking all of my classes online. This is the same everywhere in the world, even in Korea. May, oh I see. Hope to see or hear her on the live stream next time. Probably not. No, I'm not. I don't think I'm ever going to feature her in my live stream. At least not the face. Maybe if we are together, you can see her arm, her fingers, but never the face. I don't want to expose her to my very toxic media. Being a YouTuber is no longer the same as being a regular person where you can just freely show your family. Yeah, there are implications. Adam Smith, my friend had a very bad reaction after getting the vaccine. Yeah, everybody has different reactions to the vaccine. And people die from the vaccine. But anyways, no big deal. Death is not that big a deal. Death is not scary, by the way. Death is the greatest ecstasy and the greatest relief you will ever experience in life. Which is why, I spent 7 years in the military, right? I noticed one thing, that in very bad situations, people actually give up. People actually choose in that split second to die rather than to hang on. Yeah, I see that a lot. That at the moment of death, or at the moment where you have to choose to die or struggle to live, people will choose to die. Actually, human beings, right, internally and unconsciously, you're not afraid of death, because unconsciously, you in your subconscious mind, you have been through millions of years and innumerable lifestyles and lifetimes and deaths. You have died millions of times, so death is not scary to your subconscious mind. Death is scary to your conscious mind. You know why? Because when you die, the conscious mind dies. This physical brain dies. So your physical brain is scared as hell to die. And you think you're the physical brain, but no, you're not the physical brain. Just like this arm is not you. This is your arm. This is not you. You cut your arm, you still you, right? So in the same way, this brain is really not you. It's really afraid to die because when you die, it disappears. But honestly, you as a being do not actually die. And the process of death is a process of great ecstasy and great relief. This is why a lot of people in the moment of choice to struggle, to continue to struggle on being alive or to accept the relief of death, they choose death. Yes. You'll be surprised today, every day, everybody's so afraid to die, but at the moment of life and death, you will choose death. Yeah, it's very amazing. Adam Smith. My friend had a very bad. Okay, Kim Teo, you haven't shared your near death experience. I don't think people are ready for this, like I explained a few weeks ago. That's why I've shared a lot of stories, but this story I'm not sharing. Number one, it has to be in depth. But if I share in depth, people are not ready for that kind of information. But if I don't share in depth, then it's pretty much meaningless. So I'm still holding on to it. Who knows? I might tell that story one day, but not now. Kim Teo, does suicide create bad karma? Of course, suicide is extremely bad karma. I'm not talking about suicide here. No? I'm talking about when you are at the moment of life and death moment. Okay, most people in the life or death moment they choose death rather than life. For example, when you're drowning, you see the surface of the water maybe 10 meters above you, and you are struggling, you have water in your lungs, you're feeling tired. Most people give up and just let go and die because they feel the relief of death there. Death is not scary, when you just accept it, is the greatest relief you have ever felt in your life, rather than to struggle to try to get back to the surface. This is how a lot of people drown. They drown not because they could not get back to the surface, they drown because they give up trying to go to the surface. Yeah, this is from 7 years of Navy experience. Yeah, but of course, in those kind of situations, you don't create bad karma. See, in the end of the day, there's no such thing as good or bad karma. You need to understand that karma is compulsive energy or compulsive reaction. Meaning, when you talk about does this create bad karma, what you're really asking is, am I creating a bad habit that will come back biting me in the ass in future? This is what you call really mean when you ask about bad karma. Okay, so will this create bad karma? Let's say you suicide, does it create bad karma? It does. Why? Now understand that karma is habitual action. Basically, it's habits you cannot control. So when you choose to kill yourself in this life because of certain things that is happening to you that you cannot accept, you lost complete control of yourself, you choose death. In that case, that choice live on in your energy to your next life, and it will continue to influence your next life in the way that you will remember the last time when this happened, I will give up and die. And therefore, in the next life, you're more likely to just give up at every little problem in life. And therefore, this becomes what you call bad karma. You understand how this works now? Karma is not a mystical concept. No, karma is just action, consequence, result, compulsive actions or uncontrollable actions resulting in uncontrollable consequences connected in a destructive cycle or constructive cycle. Basically, there's no such thing as destructive or constructive either. And therefore, everything is karma. Without karma, you can't live. You're here because of karma. I'm here because of karma. Karma is what has set into motion this whole thing that's happening. In fact, if you're a computer programmer, you can call karma a computer code. Karma is like a code, a coding. What you put in your code, you don't see on the screen, right? You don't know what the code is happening, but you only see what's happening on the screen. You cannot control the code, right? Unless you're a hacker. Yeah, you do not access to the codes, yes, but you're only seeing whatever you're able to see on the screen. Yes, this is exactly how karma works. 100%. Karma is science. It's not mystical spirituality. Karma is science, by the way, because chaos theory is exactly the study of the karmic structure. That's what you call chaos theory in science. It's about how a butterfly flapping its wing in Europe caused a hurricane in America. What does this mean? It means the study of the complex cause and effect of everything in the world. And what's that? That's karma. Anna Capri, how about the grief your loved ones experience? Does this affect your karma as well? Now, again, let's understand that to understand karma, it's easier to replace the word karma with compulsive, uncontrollable habit. When you replace this word with karma with uncontrollable compulsive habit, you have the answer right there. Let me rephrase your question then. How about the grief your loved ones experience? Does this affect your uncontrollable compulsive habits as well? Does this make more sense now? Does it? You know the answer. You see, that's why when you touch the level, when you experience a level of karma within yourself, and you start to see how karma works within your energy system, immediately you know the answer to all this kind of thing. You just have to plug in the correct definition, but the experiential correct definition. Then immediately you understand all this. You understand. That's why in Chinese Buddhism, in Chinese Taoism, there's a saying called 一通则通, meaning once you understand one thing, you understand everything connected to it. This is the miracle that anyone can experience with a deep enough spiritual practice or awakening. Very amazing. Very amazing. To me, this is the real miracle. So yeah, like let's try this. Kim create bad karma. Let's rephrase this with the correct definition. Does suicide uncontrollable compulsive habits that will affect me later down the road? And by later down the road, okay, it doesn't end with death. Okay, by later down the road, we're talking about how it can influence even the next iteration of physical life of your present energy, or what they call reincarnation. I don't like to use this kind of words, because this kind of words are so misinterpreted all around the world. So I like to be very precise. I like to be very precise. I don't like to use labels. I like to be very precise. That's why I don't like to use the word karma. Okay, I like to be very precise. Karma is uncontrollable compulsive habits that affect you down the road. That's karma. Then what is reincarnation? Reincarnation is the next physical iteration of your energy life. That's all. Let's be very specific. Adam Smith, I'm terrified of death. Exactly, like I just explained. You will be terrified of death when you're identified with your brain. It's not you who is terrified of death. It's your brain is terrified of death. But Adam Smith, if you want to experience this, let me encourage you to do one thing. Take up diving. If you take up diving, if you are a diver, inevitably, once or at those points of at those moments, death is a great relief. You would choose death over life. Most humans choose death over life. Also, rock climbing, free rock climbing, but of course it's too extreme. Very few people do cliff hanging. A lot of cliffhangers, they choose to let go rather than to hang on. A lot of cliffhangers who die, they die because they choose to let go, not because they could not hang on anymore. Because at that moment, the relief of just letting go is much, much better than the pain of holding on. So by extension, that scenario of a cliffhanger hanging on to the cliff, right, is exactly how people are hanging on to life. That at that point, many would choose the relief of letting go of the life rather than the pain of hanging on. B, gotta go by. Thanks for checking in, B from Singapore. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's very alternate discussions. The juice. Oh, welcome. Haven't seen you on my live stream before. Welcome. I was surfing YouTube live chats and come across this channel. I just wanted to say it's nice to hear a real deep thinker from the heart in a world full of vipers. Hello from Oklahoma, USA. Oh, welcome. In case you're wondering what this live stream is all about, here in Istanbul, I'm in Istanbul. Oh. I go to a different cafe or location every morning, grab a coffee, and then chat about everything and anything, right? It happens at 10:30 a.m. Turkish time. So if you enjoy this live stream. Sometimes I bring you guys out to check out and explore Turkey as well. Like last week, I spent a few days bringing you guys around to check out the Christmas decorations in Istanbul. Yeah, so if you enjoy this, do subscribe and join me every morning. And yeah, guys, I'm still losing subscribers every on a weekly basis. Last week I lost another 30 subscribers, net over 1 week net minus 30. Still losing. The people don't really like my live stream, honestly. Adam Smith, not me. Yeah, Adam Smith, you say not me, I will hang on because you're not there yet. Okay. Understand that you do not there are extreme situations in life that you cannot imagine sitting down in your couch today. You simply cannot imagine what your choices are in certain situations in life, sitting in a couch. You have to be out there doing the extreme things. That's why I keep saying, you actually most human beings you don't know yourself at all. Most human beings you cannot even guarantee yourself how you're going to react to anything in life. Most people just react uncontrollably to anything, to and everything. Even a cat, even a someone knocking into you, your reaction is completely compulsive, automatic, and uncontrolled, isn't it? So do not sit in your couch and imagine what your choices will be in certain situations. Don't waste that time. You know why? Because when you are in that situation, I guarantee you will choose differently. Because I've been in those situations many times. 7 years deployed in the Navy. I have seen a lot of death, and I've been in very crazy situations. And I've seen the choices people make under those situations. I'm telling you, you won't believe you will do the kind of things that you do under certain situations. DCM, what do you think about scraping flakes? It's a stress relief feeling. Yeah, a lot of things are stress relief. You can punch a punching bag as well. For most people, until you understand how to touch a dimension of real control over your so-called stress and all that stuff, then you're always gonna need stress relief. There's no easy solution. I would say, do your stress relief, work hard, and one day you'll get to the point. In fact, today I'm going to make a new video today. The new video today I'm going to make will be titled, "What is the ultimate purpose of success? Why everybody should work hard?" Yes, I always tell people, people see me as a spiritual teacher these days, yeah, and they ask me, should they work hard? Should they contribute to the economic system? I always tell them, yes, work hard, get your success, get your money, get your power, okay? Because until you do, you really do not know. Whether you get there or not is not the point, but you need to have fought for it before. Then you're ready for spirituality. Then you're ready to make a real difference in your life. And therefore, right now, for people who are still on that road, I would say, I would not tell you the easy way out. That all these are illusions. It's just one way, and it's just if you're in that system right now, economic system that I just described just now, I say work hard, be whatever it is we want to do, be famous, be a famous actor, actress, whatever. Fight for your worldly success. Go do it. Go get it done. After you get it done, 10 years later, come back to me. Or 10 years is a very short time in my life experience. 10 years is very short. I can wait for you 10 years, no problem. I can wait for anything for 10 years. To me, 10 years is extremely short. In my experience of time, yeah. Kim Teo, how does this choice for death reconcile with just flow with whatever life brings? Kim Teo, like I said, you will not understand this. You see, this is why I cannot share my near-death experience. I just share this little bit thing about death only. You see, everybody got all the wrong ideas. Everybody start to go in different directions. It's very dangerous. People are not ready to understand death. I don't know why. But so Kim Teo, I'm just gonna say this, right? You do not understand, or you cannot understand truly what I just said until you have experienced being in that point. Until then, you even the questions you ask will. Mm. And this is just a very simple thing, you know. Think about the things that I say the people are not ready to know. How more abstract and mind shattering it can be. Yeah. That's why I say, you know, people are not ready for a lot of things. You see, if you guys follow the US presidency, when Obama, just before Obama, when Obama was running for president, what the one promise he made? Obama promised to release all the files and all the mysteries behind the UFO phenomena, everything about Area 51 and everything he will release. He said that it was a promise, so a lot of people voted for him. Everybody wanted to know. But after he became president for 8 years, what did he do? Nothing. And then he just kept denying the whole thing. Why? Because before he saw the UFO files, he thought, oh, everybody has the rights to know. He thought everybody can know. But until he see it, he do not realize the gravity of what it means that the world is not ready for certain things. I'm sorry, the world is not ready for most things. People think that right now we're all smart, we're not discretionary adults. No. In terms of the matters of what the really deep matters of life, most people are just babies, incapable of comprehension, incapable of acceptance, incapable of understanding any of these things. That's why Obama never followed through with his promise to release everything about the UFOs. And now they're still working on it, like little bit by little bit. They release one paper and they blank out like 70% of the content. You know why? Why they have to go through all this trouble? Because indeed there are things that people are just not ready for. Adam Smith. My dad was in the Navy too. Oh, nice. Seaman. Fellow seaman. I always love the fellow seaman. Retro. Maybe reinvent, rebrand this chat. I don't know. I don't know anything about branding or this stuff, and I don't waste lifetime and energy to think about this kind of thing. Rachel Planet. Do you think we can be reincarnated into other living things instead of being humans? It's not a thing, it's 100%. When you can touch that dimension and you understood how this mechanism work, you will see 100% you can become other animals. 100%. You can even become a plant. You can even become a tree in the next life. Yeah. It all can happen. Basically, it's just understanding that you now feel the way you feel, think that you are human because right now you have this human body. The moment your energy leave this body, it's just pure energy, and this energy is common between all human, all animals, all plants, all living things. You won't feel like you're a human anymore. To you, you see all these things as the same, and you will adopt any of these forms based upon the inclinations or the karma. Again, like I say, this is how karma works. It's uncontrollable compulsive habit based upon the accumulated uncontrollable compulsive habits of that energy. It will take on certain forms. Okay, so that's how it works. That's how reincarnation works. That's why I don't like to call it reincarnation. I like to call it a next physical iteration of a life energy. Why? Because the physics of energy stands. This is science. This is nothing mystic. The physics is energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Your energy, once it leaves the body, do not ever get destroyed. It will be transformed into other forms. This is science now. This is not some mystical belief. This is science. Okay? Retro, you're a good spiritual teacher. Man, really, no. Really, I think I just might want to go in that direction, honestly. I've been getting a lot of very good feedback. Like people are telling me how I'm like impacting the lives through all these things. Then I'm really like, oh, maybe I should really go into this thing. I'm not sure. Adam Smith, so true, low. So true what, low what? DCM, I do not tolerate anything dangerous. I already have special measures on potential dangers. I don't know why you think I'm suicidal. I don't know. I don't think you're suicidal. Why do you think I think you're suicidal? Adam Smith, tell us about your near-death experience. In the spring of 2016 in Korea, one day I was suddenly admitted into ICU in hospital where I actually died and got revived. Okay, that's the near-death experience. I I don't think people are ready for the real details inside. Like I kept saying, people always think they're ready to learn everything, to know everything. I'm sorry, it's just not the case. Like I said just now, I merely shared this little, very small fact about how people choose death over life in certain situations, and people already cannot imagine, oh, I'll never do that. Oh, that's pure bullshit. Who would choose that death? People are not ready for certain ideas at all. And this is just a very fundamental idea of life and death. I'm not even talking about my real near death experience yet. That will completely shatter your world and your mind. You're not ready for this. This is why everybody was blaming Obama for the UFO files. They say, "Wow, we got you voted. Why you're doing nothing about the UFO?" Because then he realized the gravity of the UFO files, that people are truly there are things that people are just not ready for. And you know what? The sad thing is, most people think they're ready for everything. That's the ignorance of most people. Oh, big dog. Big dog, big dog. The big dog was all over the guy just now. I don't know what to call this dog breed. No, every morning I see this dog walk by here. Every morning. Of course, I'm to see this dog walk by very much anymore. From next week onwards, I might be moving house. Yeah, maybe moving to another part of Istanbul. DCM. You see, oh, everybody says the same thing. DCM, I'm more than ready for the UFO secrets. Everybody say the same thing only because you already have an imagined idea what everything is. That's why you think you're ready. What the problem is, most of the facts and truth in life are way outside your imagination. That is the problem. And therefore, only very ignorant people will say they are ready for everything. Or only very ignorant people will say they are ready for something they have no idea about, or they have never done before, or they really don't know. So that always understand that there are many things in this world that's way beyond your level of comprehension, and that it is just experienced. Everything can be experienced by everybody. You just have to experience it yourself, and then you will understand the gravity of it. Kim Teo. But does the near-death experience bring people closer to spirituality even? No. It, Near-death experiences can take people in very different directions. It does not bring you necessarily closer to spirituality. Some I have seen people go the complete opposite direction after their near-death experience. They become religious zealots, occultists. Basically, they become anything but true spiritual people. Yeah, I've seen that. It's very dangerous how this is interpreted. And yes, of course, it will shatter beliefs. A near-death experience will shatter all your beliefs about how life and death work if you have a real near-death experience. And the problem is, once your belief is shattered, how you deal with it, that's the problem. Some people deal with it by adopting zealous religious beliefs rather than building on the spirit, using the experience to build on a spiritual discovery, which means that if you are already on a spiritual path, the near-death experience will greatly enhance your spiritual path. But if you're not on the spiritual path, if you're a religious zealot, if you're occultist, if you're all kinds of weird stuff, the near-death experience will bring you in another direction. Even UFO people who have zealous belief in UFOs, their near-death experience bring them completely different directions. Yeah. Adam Smith, he said that it was just nothing. I knew a guy who actually died for like 10 minutes. He said that it was just nothing. I would say that it's just nothing as well. Yeah, that's what I would say too. Just nothing. Don't be afraid. It's just nothing. But I'm telling you, it's not nothing. But the thing is, that's the easiest way to just shun it, to just get this issue away. But of course, maybe I cannot discount the fact the possibility that very unconscious or spiritually unawakened and therefore very unconscious people will go through the whole process of death not knowing what the hell is going on. It can happen. Right now that I touch that dimension within myself and I think about it, yes, that can happen. That you die in complete unawareness, it can happen. Yes. And in fact, in that stage, you do not even know you're dead. You just it's like you do not know the moment that you fall asleep. Yes. Most very unaware people will just fall into death in the same way, in complete unawareness, completely unaware that you're already dead. Yeah. Completely unaware that you were ever alive in the first place. Mm-hmm. DCM. Yeah, give it to me now. I beg for it. Adam Smith, like sleeping with no dreams. Yep, exactly. Like I just explained, that can happen in this way. Retro. The Good Earth is an amazing old book by Pearl Buck about China through the eyes of a farmer during the period of the Industrial Revolution. Oh, I see. Interesting. Hmm. Interesting. Wow, 1 hour 30. So yeah, guys. Let's see. Battery is very low right now, so I'm gonna have to end this. Why is battery low today? Why? Because this morning I was doing my sword practice and I took a lot of videos. so yeah, guys, very intense and very interesting chit chat this morning. Um, so much, we covered so much. So do, if you missed it, do rewatch this video. I shared so much that I about the economy, about lifestyles, about death that I've never shared before. So do rewatch for those value. Today I really shared stuff that I've never shared before, including what's the changes that's going to happen in my life very soon. Yeah, I've not spoken about all these things before. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me once again, all my regular folks. I can't finish reading your name, so I'm not gonna do it. 2021, the eve of New Year, 10:30 a.m. Turkey time. 2022 is gonna be a year of change for everything and everyone, including myself. I see change coming already. Then I'm even gonna have to move already. So let's see how. Adios.